All right, let's get back to our seats as we can. Thank you. All right, we'll call to order our agenda meeting of June 17th, 2026. Madam Clerk, roll call, please.
Commissioner Baker,
He is here. He's just not back out yet.
Commissioner Beck,
Here.
Commissioner Chauncey,
Here.
Commissioner Eversole.
Here.
Commissioner Graham.
Here.
Commissioner Helton. Dr. Highlander absent. Dr. Mackey.
Here.
Commissioner Sharp.
Here.
Commissioner Shipley. Chairman Smith.
Here. We'll be looking at a set of minutes for June 17th, 2026 regular meeting and the June 17th, 2026 agenda meeting. And we'll also have two reports that we'll be looking at entering into the record next meeting. That takes us down to resolutions. Madam Clerk, please read 726-1.
Resolution 726-1, a resolution to approve and accept applications for notary public positions, the bonds and oaths of notaries previously elected, and the oaths of deputy sheriffs.
Thank you. No lights. We'll take that up next week. 726-2, please.
Resolution 726-2, a resolution to appoint one member and to reappoint one alternate member to the Hamilton County Board of Zoning Appeals for a 5-year term beginning July 1st, 2026 and ending July 1st, 2031. This resolution will reappoint Gene Tuggle and appoint Joseph Martin.
Thank you. No lights at this time. We'll take that up next meeting. All right, that finishes our committee of a whole. So I will mention our committee assignments today. We've got Building and Economic Development, Commissioner Shipley with 4 resolutions, Rules and Legislative, Commissioner Helton 1 resolution, Public Safety, Commissioner Beck, you have 5 resolutions today, and Finance and Budget, Commissioner Eversole, I see that you have 1 resolution. We will go, actually, you've already completed your Finance Committee meeting, so you will not have one. So we'll only do 3 committees this afternoon. We'll go to those immediately following our agenda meeting, which is now. We will be adjourned until July 1st, 5 p.m. Commissioner Shipley, sir, it's all you.
Madam Clerk, 726-3.
Resolution 726-3, a resolution authorizing the county mayor to execute a donation agreement with the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Tennessee Foundation and the city of Chattanooga regarding improvements to Pavilion Park.
Any lights?
No lights, sir.
Question?
If you have one.
Yeah, I mean, for the sake of all those tuning in, can we have a little explanation of what we're doing here?
Mr. Fultz?
Yeah, so Blue Cross is partnering with the city of Chattanooga on a healthy place. So they're doing the Airnasium, which is shade over the hockey rink there. And then they're also doing a playground and some additional features kind of around the skate park. So Pavilion Park is, most people know it as where the skate park is, or First Horizon Pavilion. So this is because we co-own the property. We need to say that we're accepting this donation as well.
Yep. Good, sir.
Thank you.
No further lights?
726-4.
Resolution 726-4, a resolution to declare a portion of the Hamilton County Port property located at Center South Riverport Industrial Park surplus property and to authorize its disposal in accordance with applicable law and policy.
I don't see any lights, sir, but I have a feeling that there will be. Commissioner Graham? I assumed as much. Mr. Lehman, this is under you. Mr. Mayor, are you addressing this item?
Yes, sir. So a little background for this resolution. This Center South Park goes back to 1988. There's an agreement on this port that the state was party to. Come back to that in a second. Beginning in 1994, Parker Towing has operated on a lease agreement with the county. They've operated this port. Some time ago, Parker Towing approached our office about their interest in purchasing the port and adjacent property that they have operated for 32 years. They made a $2.5 million informal offer. We told them we would study it, that we weren't opposed to it, that we were interested in their reason for wanting to buy it, and that was that they committed to an expansion of their operations there. They basically said, we are interested in investing in the site, which will generate more economic activity. We're not going to make an investment into the site just without owning it, just as having a lease agreement. Some time went by. They came back to us. That led to a $3.5 million offer. We went back and forth. I told Parker Towing that if we got to $4 million based on what we believe the market value to be, if we got to a $4 million offer, is something that we would take very seriously. That is really what leads us to this point. We did in the process identify that the 1988 documents require for the sale of the port that TDOT approve that. The TDOT commissioner sent a letter several weeks ago having looked at the 1988 documents, the justification, the economic expansion, and approved it. Happy to share that letter with all of you. Upon further study, different than other sites in Center South, this is something that Todd Lehman or the county attorney can speak to, different than other sites because of the initial RFP, this cannot be sold directly, even though we think $4 million's a reasonable price. And this is also the operator of the port for over 30 years. We believe that the proper path forward is to do another RFP. Because we have a $4 million offer, we would put the floor in that RFP at $4 million. And then also put some language in the RFP about our desire to see it expanded, right? I mean, that's the reason that we engage in these conversations, is because Parker Towing came to us saying, if this is in the private sector's hands, we're willing to invest, make the port more productive. The county's been allowing it to be privately operated for 32 years. So we don't operate the port. And then, of course, another benefit of this approach is that it will bring this port, this property onto the tax rolls in a significant way. And then, as we have shared with you all, our proposal in terms of the proceeds here would be that what was once an economic development investment of the counties would be reinvested as an economic and workforce development investment commitment into students at the 3 Future Ready centers. There's a lot of needs, particularly deferred needs at North River Future Ready Center and Harrison Bay Future Ready Center, and certainly be a lot of needs as we get further down the road at the downtown Future Ready Center, Franklin Roberts, and we've talked to the school system. If this body approves the RFP moving forward, we believe there will be a purchaser at $4 million or higher, and that we would allow those funds to go into Future Ready centers and to address projects that are often overlooked. All y'all work with principals like our office does, and so we've been in contact with the principals of those schools, and they're very excited about what this investment would mean. But we think it is one of these win-win opportunities where the county's able to extract cash, bring a property back on the tax rolls, and then the property actually will become more productive for economic development purposes with a commitment by a developer to expand the infrastructure there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Commissioner Graham, you still have your light? Still the floor?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Mayor, will we give the towing company the first right of refusal since they've already made the $4 million offer? And that's going to be our floor, right?
I'll let Mr. Lehman respond to that. $4 million would be the lowest asking price, basically. That would be the lowest bid in the RFP.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be a first right of refusal. They are operating it under a lease agreement with the county that runs until 2027. So that would still be operational, but they obviously would be an individual or a company that would want to put in a proposal for a purchase price to continue to operate the port and expand the port. We may get other interested individuals. Obviously, that's the reason why we would publicly do an RFP.
Yeah, and I agree with that. But with 30+ years being there, I mean, I would like to see us at least give them some kind of compensation for an opportunity to say, all right, somebody's offered 4.1, can you beat it? I mean, that's why I'm saying we should consider giving them a first right of refusal.
Well, one thing, Todd Lehman can speak to the process here, but one reality of this process is that it will come back to this body, right? And so as long, if let's just say, and theoretically speaking, let's say Parker Towing did come forward with a $4 million offer, as they have shared with us that they plan to do. But let's say that there was a competing offer from an out-of-town group. Parker Towing is based in Alabama, but one that was not familiar with the site, as Parker Towing has been. And that was a $4.5 million offer. And this body chose to take the $4 million offer because this Parker Towing has a 32-year history. You'd have the opportunity to do that.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Commissioner Sharp?
Thank you, Chairman. So we have a lease agreement right now through 2027 with Parker Towing for this property. Is there no taxes being collected on this property right now?
No, sir. We get a wharfage, so we get a certain amount of rent. The operating agreement that sets out with them is there a certain amount of fee they pay, which I've got in front of me is $2,950 a quarter. And then they pay a fee based on the tonnage so a wharfage fee based on the tonnage. And that runs, so the total of that rent and wharfage runs anywhere from about, we've got a couple of years in front of me, runs anywhere from about $15,000 to $25,000 per quarter. So that's the income that we receive currently.
How much
from the port.
property is this?
It's roughly, we'll have to subdivide it because it does include some other contiguous, but it's about 17 acres, roughly, more or less.
How many linear feet of riverfront is that?
You can look at the port. There's two large cylinders where they access our barges more, and they access them. I'm not sure exactly what, but it's about four, built in 94. So I think they obviously more barges there and offload from the barges.
Who built those?
We built those in
Taxpayers built those?
late 80s, early 90s. Yes, sir.
Okay, and there's a large crane on this property too, is that correct?
Yes, it's owned and operated by Parker Towing.
Did county taxpayers pay for that crane?
No, sir. I'm unaware of that.
I feel like I remember a resolution a few years ago where we purchased a large crane.
There was a resolution to use some PIP funds to purchase that. That would have required a lease extension, operating extension, but that was never, they did not fulfill that grant.
Okay, I'm going to have some more questions. I want to follow up on this. If we could schedule some time before we leave today
Yes, sir.
For this next week, that would be great. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Good, sir. All right, no further lights?
726-5.
Resolution 726-5, a resolution to approve the proposal from Falavanha Investments LLC, doing business as Rytech Restoration of Greater Chattanooga for remediation and associated restoration work at the McDaniel Building, not to exceed $509,370 for the Hamilton County Property Management Department, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
I think
no
we've
lights?
kind of went over this a little bit before, but any questions?
No, sir.
All right, 726-6.
Resolution 726-6, a resolution approving the purchase and delivery of kitchen equipment for the Harrison Community Center from Trimark USA LLC from the Sourcewell Purchasing Corporative amounting to $313,450.24 for the Hamilton County Parks and Recreation Department, and authorizing the county mayor to sign any contracts necessary to implement this resolution.
Commissioner Sharp?
Yeah, thank you, Chairman. I'm just curious what kind of kitchen equipment we're buying for $313,000.
Sure. And I'll let Director Foltz talk specifically about some of those kitchen renovations.
So this is the Harrison Community Center. This is part of the grant that we received, the community block grant, the $1.4 million. So this is a 90-10 match. And so this is to create a commercial kitchen. Part of the plan was to create an incubator where we could partner with the schools to allow for culinary classes and then also potentially utilize it for gatherings and that sort of thing. So these are all commercial grade equipment. Kitchens are not inexpensive. And so a lot of this is your commercial grade flat tops, your freezers, your reach in kind of things. All of that's expensive because when the school was closed, most of the kitchen was gutted. Anything that was of value went back to another function in the school. We're trying to build that kitchen back. So this is the last piece of the puzzle for that community center. It's been operating for 2 years, but we haven't been able to actually, use the kitchen. And this allows us to create those gathering spaces and then potentially partner with the schools for expanded programs.
Okay, I guess is the detail in online for us to find?
It should be in the packet.
In
If
the
you can, I
packet.
can forward you the list of all the equipment we're buying.
Okay, that'd be great. Thank you. I appreciate that so
Good.
much.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Chairman.
All right, I see no further lights. We'll move on to rules and legislative. Commissioner Helton.
Thank you, Chairman. Madam Clerk, would you read 726-7?
Resolution 726-7, a resolution of the Hamilton County Commission adopting HIPAA policies and procedures for the Hamilton County General Government and authorizing implementation and administration of such policies and procedures through the Hamilton County Compliance Department and the Office of the Hamilton County Attorney.
Thank you. Madam Attorney, could you talk to us about this?
Yes, so if the board will recall, back in March of this year, we upped, for lack of a better word, our designation as a hybrid entity. With doing that and with the creation of the compliance department under our office, myself, Tim Clark, and Angela Duncan, our HIPAA privacy officer, have taken months to formalize our HIPAA policies and procedures. That will also allow us to implement new notice of privacy practices, begin work with our internal working group, and will allow for the implementation of all of these HIPAA policies and procedures throughout county general government.
So this is just policies. This does not address the concerns that myself and other commissioners had about the composition of the board going forward and how it will interact with the commission.
Correct. So the first step was essentially getting the policies in place. The second step is now, should this be adopted, to begin meeting as an internal working group. And I know we discussed in committee that there will be a member of the commission as an ex officio member of that committee. And so that will occur once these policies are adopted.
Okay, and any timeline on that after we adopt it, how long it will take to come up with that?
So the resolution that we put in place says that the working group will begin meeting at least quarterly. It would be my goal to try to get some things set up before August 1st or shortly thereafter.
Okay, Commissioner Eversole?
No, I just want to thank you, Commissioner Hilton, and thank you, Madam Attorney. This is something we've been working on for several months. I know you kind of, when you came into your role, this was something that was kind of like, ta-da, and you've done a great job. This is something I think as a county, we desperately needed to get that umbrella in compliance, and there's things that fall under it. And I just want to thank you, Commissioner Hilton. I want to thank you guys for the diligent work that you all put into it. So thank you.
Commissioner Sharp, you have anything to follow up on this?
Yeah, I do, Chairman. Thank you. I appreciate it. I just wanted to confirm, there was, we're talking about these policies and procedures include committee makeup and working group makeup. Is that accurate?
No, sir, the resolution from the establishment of the compliance department confirms confirms the people that are in each committee and each working group.
Okay, and this doesn't address that?
The policies and procedures?
Right.
Not the makeup of each committee, because again, that's codified in a resolution.
Part of the concerns that I've had with regard to the committees and the working group is the absence of commissioners. And I know there's been some concern for some reason that I don't completely understand. One of the, and so I know these are two separate issues, and I'm going to try to clarify this, but give me just a moment to try to stumble through it.
Sure.
So currently, the committee does not contain a commissioner.
That is incorrect. The
Okay.
committee is now built into the Rules, Legislative, and Compliance Committee, and that's what we met
Right.
weeks ago on this.
Okay. I remember that, but
I think our discussion and our concern was having
The
someone
working-
in the working group, just eyes and ears.
right.
So if we need to throw a red flag up, we can do so and, bring it back to
Right.
the public and say, here's our concern.
So
And-
that's still something that needs to be done. Is that right? To be changed?
Correct. So again, I wanted the policies and procedures in effect because those were needed, priority
Right.
number one.
So,
Sec-
okay, I'm sorry. Go ahead. I apologize.
Secondly, Once the policies and procedures are in effect, that makes the most sense in terms of establishing a working group, because the point of the working group is then to have our office, a commission member, and the mayor's office ensuring that all of these administrators and department heads are aware of the new policies and implement them amongst their departments. That's the point of the working group.
Okay, so I know this is like 800 pages. Am I exaggerating there? I don't intend to.
It's 262.
262 pages. So it's a lot of pages. And could you point me to in the, or us, I think it's important for all of us to know, is there a policy and procedure that directs how the commission will be informed of any violation or breach with regard to HIPAA policies?
So policy number 114
Okay.
is breach and breach notification. That begins, our page numbers are a little off, but it's policy number 114.
Okay.
It's the last policy within the group of them.
Okay. And okay. All right, I'll look in. I'll read that. I just want to follow up on that one. Thank you. For now, I'm good. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. No more lights?
No more lights. All right, we will move on to public safety. Commissioner Beck, you have 5 resolutions, sir.
Madam Clerk, would you read 726-3? Is this, no?
Resolution 726-8, a
Dash eight,
resolution.
I'm sorry.
A resolution requesting to waive the procurement rules and authorize the county mayor to relinquish Hamilton County's interest in a 2008 Ford E450 van with 10,324 miles, co-titled with Hamilton County Stars, which will be sold and the proceeds used to assist with purchasing a replacement vehicle.
Any questions on this?
No, sir. Oh, wait,
Thank
I
you.
do.
This
I'm
is
sorry,
a-
Commissioner
this is-
Sharp
this-
had a.
Mr. Chairman, this is our ongoing effort to support this program, and you say you did have a light.
Yeah, I had a late light. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to
Okay, go
interrupt you.
ahead. Go
Commissioner
ahead.
Sharp.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, my question was 10,000 miles. I just was curious if that was a typo.
No, sir, that's correct. But that's not how many hours, I guess it's idled. It was developed for the SWAT team. It's a specialized vehicle. They've tried to use it for boat. However, the compartment for someone to drive, only one person can drive it in their whole division. And so it may have only driven 10,000 miles on the road, but it may have idled for months. So it's like me, it looks good on the outside, but it's been idling a long time. If that makes sense.
Can we
that
call
your
me a
own out of
personal
order?
assessment or?
That's my assessment.
All right, all right. That's my question. Thank you, Chairman. Thank you, thank you.
We're good.
Miss, okay, let me see. I think, Madam Clerk, if you'll bundle the next two, 726-9 and 726-10.
Resolution 726-9, a resolution reappointing Lori Miller as Judicial Commissioner for a term beginning May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2028, and establishing the compensation to be received. Resolution 726-10, a resolution reappointing Lori Miller as Chief Judicial Commissioner for a term beginning May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2028, and establishing the compensation to be received.
Thank you. And I'm going to ask Attorney Barnell to discuss with us why this is May 1st, goes back to May 1st.
I could be the person to do that, but I think Ms. Miller can
She's not
opine as
here.
well.
Oh,
However,
okay, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Miss Miller. I didn't know she was here. I'm sorry. I didn't. I'm sorry.
This is a result of, I had,
Barnell.
Commissioner Beck is the head of the Security and Corrections Committee, and I had reached out to him in anticipation prior to this, but I actually had the wrong phone number for him. So I was reaching out and he was out, I think, on sick leave for a short period of time there. And I was thinking he would be back. I have taken matters, like in other words, I have made an adjustment so that once we anticipated that we would not be able to get this resolution on the docket, before the May 1st deadline, I had taken steps. So we are all the operating magistrates, who include myself and Rachel Ortwine and Blake Murchison, have been sworn in as special judges. So there's not been any interruption in continuity of doing the job. But this has been a little bit of a delay because then I got in touch with Commissioner Beck, and then we had a meeting of the commissioners on the Security and Corrections Committee, and then here we are now.
Thank you. Are there any questions? Okay. You got a question? Put your light on. I have one question. Commissioner Graham. Yes.
Ms. Miller, thank you for being here and thank you for your service to Hamilton County and all the judicial magistrates. Can you just give us a brief summary about how things have been going in your department?
Absolutely. I'd be happy to do that. It has been a while since I've spoken with everyone here. We do have some great developments in our program where everything is running very smoothly. We now have the ability to do search warrants for blood online. So that is cutting down on the traffic and keeping officers from having to take extra steps to go into different parts of the building. That gets them in and out quicker and back on the street. We also now are doing Saudi Daisy warrants online, and that process is going to be expanded as and offered to the other municipal departments, such as East Ridge and Red Bank and Collegedale, if they want to use that same, prototype for their office. That gets the Saudi Daisy officers in and out more quickly and cuts down on the times that they would have to come to see us in person when they're just trying to get a warrant issued, and that keeps them in their areas. We also now have the ability to do referrals to mental health court, veterans court, and drug court online. And so we have that set up to send out to the appropriate personnel, so that if we speak to somebody and we find that they would make a good candidate, then we can refer those out. We now have public hearings. There was some updates that we did. Because we'd been in that temporary situation for a period of time, we kind of delayed until everything was up and running. But now that everything is up and running, we are now, the public can view bond hearings if they so choose. We have that option. Let's see. That's pretty much the entire thing. I had made a request, I don't know that I ever had an opportunity to ask. Had made a request. We had started using the language line services through there's a contract, I think, with Hamilton County, and we just started using those. But I've now secured state funding for that, so that's off the table for the county at this point. So that's great news, and that's a recent development. But everything's running really smoothly, and everyone is doing a great job. So I'm just here to ask for your support.
That was my last question. Since a lot of these magistrates are up for renewal of their contracts, I was going to ask you how your team is working.
Excellent. Excellent. I think everyone's doing a great job. We have 2 more commissioners, judicial commissioners, that will be up in the fall. And so I'll be back to see you again, but our whole entire team is running great. We're at 24-hour coverage right now. So we have 2 12-hour shifts a day. And so I think everything's running really smoothly.
Thank you for your service to Hamilton County. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chief. Any more questions?
We do have a few more lights. Commissioner Shipley.
I just want to make a comment. I've worked with you ever since I've been here, and you do a great job. And you've been more than easy to work with your magistrates, and in times where we had some situations, you worked through them, and I'll be supporting your needs here.
Thank you very much, sir.
Commissioner Sharp.
Yes, thank you, Chairman. And I echo Commissioner Shipley. I'm glad, Commissioner, that you spoke up about that. Lori, you've really gone above and beyond the duty of the office. When I first came to the commission, it was one of our most pressing challenges immediately. And you've certainly raised the bar of professionalism and are really engaging outside of the office with other judges to help improve how we operate here in Hamilton County. And I'm greatly appreciative of that. And I thank you for your service. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
That it? Thank you, Ms. Lori. And I guess this next two will be those who will be coming up for reappointment. Madam Clerk, would you read 726-11 and 726-12?
Resolution 726-11, a resolution reappointing Rachel W. Ortween as Judicial Commissioner for a term beginning May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2028, and establishing the compensation to be received. Resolution 726-12, a resolution reappointing Blake Murchison as Judicial Commissioner for a term beginning May 1st, 2026 and ending April 30th, 2028, and establishing the compensation to be received.
Thank you. We'll be looking at these next week. And Mr. Chairman, do you have any more lights?
I see no light, sir.
Thank you, Ms. Lori.
Thank you, sir.
All right, that is our final item for the evening. Thank you.
Is there a difference between?